Hello, welcome back, and today I want to talk about logos, specifically the Superman logo. There's been a lot of talk, you see, about it over the past few days, ever since Isabella Merced, who will be playing Hot Girl in the upcoming Superman Legacy film, posted a picture of her nameplate at her seat for the table reading of the Legacy script. Right there to the left of the nameplate, you see clear as day that big-ass logo that we all know emblazons the chest of the last son of Krypton's uniform. Now, will this be the final version of it? Well, I doubt it, because, production is just now starting, and it's common in many films, especially superhero ones, to tweak the looks along the way. And that's a good thing, because they don't always look so good in the beginning. So, as I asked, will this be the logo that little Jimmy does in fact pick for Corn Sweat? As I said, I doubt it, but who knows? It very well could be. And it has some people in a frenzy over it. It's plain, it's boring, and it's dull, many say. How can they go from the one Cavill had to this? Many are asking how? Why? Well, I'll tell you how and why. Because this guy says so. Like it or not, it seems that Gunn is going in a completely different, lighter, hearted, more bright direction from the one that Snyder was taking, and that, my friends, is intentional, because WB, as you see, will not let the new DCU in any way be associated with the Snyderverse. Well, except for Amanda Waller, apparently. That's why they brought Gunn in. His approach, it worked for Marvel. It had action, had lots of action, but most of it was in a comedic, wink-wink, one-liner way, and it wasn't entirely dark and serious, unlike Snyder's way. Zack, you see, went for the more realistic, serious thinking way. He embraced the darkness, the real world confusion, and what if this really happened and how would we as a race react storyline. He did this because he understood that one day it would lead to a brighter, hopeful day in a brighter world. But I digress. I was talking about Superman's logo, wasn't I? I tend to trail off. Obviously, this one that we are seeing now is taken from the Kingdom Come storyline, which Gunn has stated many times on more than one occasion is one of his favorites, and that he hopes to be able to incorporate it into his DCU in the future. I myself think that the logo is simply a wink and a nod towards the story itself. He can't as of yet do the storyline, but he can damn sure squeeze a bit of it into somewhere. I also think that it's yet another way for little Jimmy to keep people talking and posting and clicking about Legacy. Like it or don't like it. It's made the news and people are talking about it and making thousands of assumptions as to what it all means. Want to know what I think it means? Well, I hate to admit it, it means Gunn's smart and he knows how to play the social media game. The logo is a change. Well, kinda. In case anyone forgot or didn't watch it, the logo's the same one Brandon Routh wore in the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline a while back. But let's just say that it's change, and most people hate change. They hated Cavill's at first because everyone was comparing it to the one that the late, great Christopher Reeves had, and I get it. The dude holds a special place in every Superman fan's heart. But for the most part, they've all pretty much looked the same, more or less, over the years. They've just been tweaked along the way as the world becomes, more modern. And they all look pretty good. Well, maybe not all. Remember this one? Yeah, that's the one and only Nicolas Cage being fitted for his Superman suit back when he was going to be directed in a Supes movie by none other than Tim Burton back in the day. No, it was never made. But I certainly would like to think that that suit would never have seen the light of day if it had been. So, will the logo stay, or will the logo go? As with everything else concerned with little Jimmy Gunn's world, only time will tell. And speaking of all things DC, the media world is currently yammering on about the fact that Warner Brothers Discovery actually turned a $103 million profit in their streaming department, otherwise known as Max. Well, kudos to you, Mr. Z, but does it really freaking matter? Warner Discovery is still $145 billion in the mighty hole, so I'm wondering why you even began bragging about it in the first damn place. Unless, of course, it's just another way for you to make WBD as a whole look, just a tad bit better to those up-and-coming potential buyers you will have circling around your campfire here in another month or so. Mr. Z, you remind me of one of those slick used car salesmen just off the interstate. The ones with the bad hairpiece, wearing the proverbial blue blazer with the collar open on your overstart shirt, 3 buttons down, trying to sell someone a car that needs a lot of work just to keep running, and you will say and or do anything to achieve your goal. In other words, slimy. And that, my friends, is all I've got for today's show. Short and to the point. So what do you think? What do you think of the maybe kind of sort of new Superman logo? Do you think this is the one that we will actually eventually see? What was your favorite Superman logo? And while we're at it, why don't you tell me what was your favorite Superman suit? If you would, please leave your comments down below. And why don't you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next Sock Show. And as always, thanks for stopping by. God bless. Socks out.